Hi, everybody. This is SAAD. Those of you who follow me on social media might have noticed that since late last night, when I was suffering from another bout of insomnia around between 2 to 4 in the morning, I turned my attention to naturally lobotomized Nancy Pelosi, who should definitely be retiring somewhere in Boca Raton because she came out swinging that this whole idea of merit based immigration, whereby a country chooses the people that they're going to let in part based on whether those people are going to enrich their societies, whether they are going to provide more benefits than costs to the society. My God, what a racist concept. I've written about this in the past in a Psychology Today column of mine, and also I pick up this topic in my forthcoming book where I talk about the verb to discriminate. The verb is now understood to mean meaning to manifest bias, right? To discriminate against someone. But the word has a completely different meaning. For example, when you discriminate between two stimuli, are you able to discriminate whether the dot that appears on your screen is a blue dot or a green dot? So in psychophysics, for example, there's a very long tradition of research that looks at the psychophysics of discrimination. In my doctoral dissertation, I talk about the discrimination framework, the idea that when you are collecting information on two competing alternatives, you acquire sufficient information until you are confident enough that you've discriminated between the two alternatives so that you can stop acquiring additional information and commit to a choice. Anyways, I will put a link to that article in question. And as I said, you can, if you're interested in the topic, I cover it in my forthcoming book. So the idea that we discriminate is not simply in the context of you being a biased person. To discriminate is to be human. We discriminate in the people that we choose to be our friends. We discriminate in terms of loving our children more than random strangers. Life is about a calculus of discrimination in the proper sense of the term, not in the biased sense. Although you could say I am biased towards my children more than I am toward random children. I invest more in my biological children than in random children. I invest more in my close friends than I do in random people who live in Slovakia. So now we come back to naturally lobotomized Pelosi. She was upset, she was disgusted by the condescending nature of merit-based immigration, because people should be let into a country just because they want to come in. And so I tweeted a bunch of tweets. I would welcome you to or recommend that you go and check my Twitter feed, because I've got tons of interesting tweets. But let me read you a few. So here we go. Given that I'm a big fan of naturally lobotomized Nancy Pelosi's position regarding how offensive the word merit is, I will hereby no longer be flying on airlines that discriminate in their hiring practices. It is bigoted to allow trained pilots to fly me from point A to B when they are equally meritorious drunk passengers willing to do the job. I reject the bigoted idea that there are pilots and non-pilots. We are all valuable pilots in the plane of life. Dear Donald Trump, I look forward to flying you around on Air Force One because while I'm not a qualified pilot, I have merit as a person of color. Once you incorporate my adversity score into the mix, this is in reference to the new adversity score for the SATs, slowly we inch, I am the lead pilot of a squadron of stealth bombers. I then announced some very good news. I am proud to announce that Speaker Pelosi and I will be launching a new medical school rooted in the ethos of diversity, inclusion, and equity. The acronym spells DIE. It's the DIE religion. Attendance to our 3-day full medical school training is optional. So not only have we reduced medical training from 4 years to 3 days, because this whole thing of merit and credentials is BS, it's bigoted, it's condescending. But you don't really need to show up if you don't want to. So it's a 3-day medical school program. All those who apply for the MD degree will receive it. Unlike Donald Trump supporting bigots who believe in merit-based credentials, Nancy and I are progressive. We believe that people have inherent merit as practicing physicians, even if illiterate. If you support our vision, please tweet #WeAreAllPhysicians. These were just some of the earlier tweets that I put out last night when I was warming up, so definitely go check it out. I know that I was being satirical there and I'm using sarcasm, although I am deadly serious. It is amazing that there is now a political party who believes that everything that defines a healthy, thriving society is racist and bigoted, right? It's bigoted to have men only compete with men and women only compete with women. When a man who has the musculature of the Hulk self-identify as females, the correct progressive position is that she is a woman now. It is racist and bigoted, according to progressive Democrats, for a society to say, hey, wait a minute, do we have a right to choose people that are going to enrich our societies? By the way, nobody is saying that we don't want all sorts of people to come into our countries, but it is perfectly reasonable for a society to say, we want people to come here who are going to use some sort of merit-based mechanism to decide if they're going to provide more benefits than, if you like, have us incur costs to accept them into our societies. There's nothing bigoted about that. There's nothing racist about that. There's nothing condescending or patronizing about that. That's what thriving societies do. Now, the SAT folks are saying that we now need to incorporate adversity scores into your application package. Where is this going to end, right? I mean, medical schools now no longer in Quebec want to have grading because it's too stressful for physicians to be. Because when you are thinking of future physicians who are going to be sitting in the stressful environments of emergency room medicine, it's really comforting to know that those same people did not feel sufficiently strong to, receive a grade because it's too stressful. Anti-fragility is a needed mechanism in life. Wake up. Contribute to the debate of ideas. Don't sit idly. Bit by bit, we are sinking into a level of mediocrity that's difficult to comprehend. Have a good day, everybody. Cheers.